To continue watching Seven's coverage of the Gold Coast 2018 Commonwealth Games, switch now to 7 Flicks.
Pages of Australia's racing history are filled with names like Smith, Waterhouse, Freedman, Hayes, and of course, Cummings. Not just racing names, these families have become racing dynasties. For Sydney's leading trainer Chris Waller, his pathway could not have been more different. The son of a dairy farmer in the small Kiwi town Foxton, Waller arrived in Sydney with his childhood sweetheart Stephanie by his side and not much else. His total racing assets included 1 horse, with liabilities of a handful of empty boxes at Rose Hill, 2 maxed out credit cards, and no famous family to fall back on. In 2008, Waller broke through for his maiden Group 1 victory, the Doncaster Handicap, with his horse, Triple Honour.
Triple Honour held on to beat Casino.
That emotional win has been followed by a decade of dominance. He is the trainer of Winx, the best horse in the world and perhaps the greatest we have ever seen on an Australian racetrack.
The Great Mare completes the great trilogy of the term.
Waller's CV over the last 10 years is nothing short of astonishing, including training the best horse in the world. With 6 Doncaster trophies to his name, including a first 4 years ago, today Waller saddles up another 6 runners in the famous Doncaster Mile.
Kermit scores a great win from Real Impact.
Chris's Juggernaut is again the headline act on what is a star-studded day of championship racing, highlighted by the $2.5 million TJ Smith featuring Red Zell, as well as the Australian Derby and Inglis Sires. Whether the Waller children take up Dad's legacy in the racing profession is yet to be seen. But one thing is for sure, the name Chris Waller is etched firmly into the record books of Australian racing royalty.
The build-up has been intense and finally day 1 of the championships has arrived. It is a mouth-watering day of elite racing. The 4 massive Group 1s, the classic Doncaster Mile, the Derby, the TJ Smith, the sires for the 2-year-olds, the best trainers in Australia and in New Zealand are here, the best jockeys from all around the world, and they're battling it out for an amazing $10.6 million in prize money. And we cannot wait. The great news is the sun is shining, the hats are on, which is wonderful. And I'm sure we've got a nice, firm track. Well, let's get stuck right into it. Emily Bosson's out on the track to give us the latest here from Randwick.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure to be here, as always. Day 1 of the championships at Royal Randwick, and we are in for a magnificent day. The sun is shining, the skies are blue, and we have the track rated a good 4. Would you believe it? It hasn't been this good on Doncaster Day since 2006. Somebody who knows about track conditions is Zach Purton, and Zach, a good 4 track is going to make for an even day of racing, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, when you have the wet tracks, there's fast lanes in some parts of the track compared to others, so hopefully the track race is fair. It's a beautiful sunny day and we've got good conditions.
You've come back for 4 rides, so which one do you think's your best?
Well, Ahood is the one I come back for. She ran very well in the slipper. That was on a wet track and we have a dry track today, so she's going to need to bring that same form here and hopefully she can do so.
Now, I can't help but notice, but you're looking pretty relaxed today and a little bit of social media stalking. You've pretty much been on holiday since the Golden Slipper.
Yeah, I have. I went back and rode in Hong Kong the next day, and since then I've been to Port Douglas, North Queensland, a great part of the world, near the Great Barrier Reef. We're very lucky here in Australia to have that on our doorstep. And then I went to Sanya with the family, and I unfortunately had to leave them there. They're still there. I think they fly back to Hong Kong today, but here I am. Hopefully it's going to be worth it.
Well, best of luck today. And Zach Purton, best bet of the day, Ahood. So looking forward to getting things underway.
Good on you, Em. She's going to take a power of beating is Ahood. Group 1 winning jockey Katie Mallion joins us, and also Richard Freedman, a great Rose Hill trainer on Doncaster Day of Australian Racing. Look at it, talking about mouth-watering. What a menu it is. $3 million to start Doncaster Mile. $2.5 million up for grabs in the Darley TJ Smith. No Chautauqua. He's won the last 3. The $2 million Harold's Australian Derby, 7 New Zealand Raiders, and the $1 million Inglis Sires. And Rich, 7 Group 1 winners in the Doncaster Mile. Darren Weir's got the 2 top weights. Some elite horses here.
There are some brilliant 3-year-olds too, like Cappy Clapper, not a 3-year-old, but a brilliant horse, and people do love him. But you've got Prized Icon there. We're going to see Kementari today. He's just a superstar. This is him now. Is he going to be able to dispose of a field of older horses? Well, Who? No, he's very well backed. And this horse, D'Argento, comes back from the 2,000 metres on a soft track to a firmer track in 1,600.
Did it with Sacred Falls when he was able to win the Doncaster Carbine Club Stakes. Is our first race for broadcast race number 2, a Group 3 race. The PJ Bell is a beauty. The Country Championships is great stories there. Some trainers having their very first Metropolitan horse running, which is remarkable. $600,000 up for grabs. Race number 1, all the Group 1s are there. Race number 1, we had a boil over for the punters, a 50-1 chance winning.
And 3 further back to En Bahar at the 300 now. Legend of Condor draws level with Ennis Hill. Then Lean Mean Machine. The Query between them. Stunts are just labouring. Legend of Condor in front, 150 out. The Query's the big danger the outside. The Query with the shades on. Moves up, heads it off. And Query draws clear from Legend of Condor. Lean Mean Machine third. Stunts warmed up when it was all over fourth. Then Ennis Hill from Munich.
$61 into $51, pays $49.40 and $8.70.